Hello there, everyone. Zantuck, your Selector Gaming, and welcome to the 7th annual Hunger Games here on the channel. Now, we've been doing these Hunger Games videos every year since Selector Gaming started. The first year was technically, a little bit longer than a year because the channel started in like September or something. But at the end of every year, or rather at the beginning of every year, we'd like to throw together a Hunger Games simulation through Brantsteele and just do a bit of a celebration of the various games that we've either streamed or, for the most part, recorded for YouTube and have been uploaded on the channel in that past year. Now, a couple characters sometimes will make it on here from games that were only streamed that never made it to the YouTube, but for the most part, these are all things that are on YouTube right now already. So, we got 12 districts here for you with four tributes each, as we always do. So there's going to be 48 characters there we are throwing into the ring here together. I've got them all organized into districts from games that We Are Trail played, that I played, that Curbwalker played, who was new to the channel this year, some multiplayer games, and then, some shuffle plays, and as I mentioned, just that tiny bit of stream-only content. So let's go ahead and reveal who our contestants are going to be this year. And once we get through all that, we can see how the hell this season is going to go. Let's find out, shall we? All right, Ludicolo, I need you to start getting the hell out of here. You're our nice spoiler warning, but it's time for District 1. And there they are. So District 1, as is tradition, tends to come from Way Out Trails games. So we're starting off with We're starting off with Ivor and Sigurd from Assassin's Creed Valhalla, a game that is, at time of recording, the series on our channel with the longest runtime. Although, for those that know, it's about to be dethroned. At least it will be in a couple months. The game, Persona 5 is going to be longer. It's just not finished uploading yet. It's coming. But alongside Ivor and Sigurd, we've got Corvo Atano and Magnus. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong part of my chart here. Corvo Atano and Dowd from Dishonored. Don't know too much about that. So then we move into District 2, which is traditionally district full of my characters. And speaking of Persona, hey, here they are, Joker and Makoto Nijima, the main character and my personal favorite of the Fandom Thieves. So they're fun here. And then joining them along is Jin Sakai and Yuna from Tsushima, a game that I first played on stream. And oh boy, what a game. I got my ass handed to me a lot in the beginning of that one. Now District 3 is going to be focused primarily on, actually that's not primarily, entirely on Curbwalker's games. Curbwalker started uploading for the channel for us as a numerous Slickstar Gaming just this year. And so far, he's doing a bit of a focus on horror and spooky-related games. So for Curbwalker's first district here, we've got Alice Little and the Mad Hatter from Alice, Madness Returns. And then along with them, we have Henry Stein and Bendy from Bendy and the Ink Machine. And then after that, we get to go into... almost got rid of something there I didn't want to get rid of. We're going to be revealing just more districts that we're kind of alternating here, kind of as we do. But District 4 is going to be starting off with Magnus and Sophia from Stardew Valley, the extended mod. Way Out Trail and Pro Tip played this mod together on stream. Magnus was Way Off Trail's romance partner, not normally a character you can romance in Stardew Valley, but the mod allows for it. And Sophia, I believe, was Pro Tip's romance partner. I think. Fairly sure. I'm also not sure if she was even in the original Stardew Valley, because when I tried looking at the wiki for her, there were no results. Only on the expanded mods wiki. So I was like, I don't know, she might not exist in the real game. So if you don't know who she is and you only know regular Stardew, that's why. Joining them now are going to be Rohi, I don't know how it's pronounced, Whale did not tell me, and Maya, the two playable characters from Raft, another game that Whale and Pro Tip streamed together. Then over in District 5, we got some more of my content here. We got Tomi Kisaragi and Takatoshi Hijiyama Two of my personal favorites from 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. And then joining them are Phi and Dio from Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward. Phi is the secondary protagonist in the game, and Dio is not my favorite. He's a dick. And I just thought it'd be funny to see what would happen to him in the Hunger Games. Maybe he'll die. I don't know. Probably. Most characters will die. Moving on. District 6. We got a little bit of Curb Walker here again. I think Curb Walker's last bit for this season, since he is still new to the channel. He doesn't have too many videos up yet. But from the original Five Nights at Freddy's, we have Freddy Fazbear and Foxy. Now, why choosing these two over anybody else? I asked Curb Walker to tell me which ones, since I'm fairly certain he plans to play through most, if not the entire series. And he's like, yeah, for the first game, do Freddy and Foxy. It's like, alright, we'll do that. Joining them though, we have a couple of my characters here. We have Dr. Wily and Base.exe from the Mega Man Battle Network series. Now, I haven't uploaded any new Battle Network games onto the channel since Battle Network 4, which was last year, the year before. I want to say it was the year before. Yeah, no, it was last year. Oh, cool. I do plan to get through 5 and 6 eventually, but these two are actually to represent the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, which I started streaming earlier this year. And I've, funnily enough, also so far at time of recording, only gotten up to Battle Network 4. I've been doing the opposite versions for games 3, 4, 5, for 3 and 4 than what were recorded for the channel. And I eventually am going to be streaming 5 and 6, where I will be doing the opposite version of what will eventually be recorded for the channel as well. So I'm playing all the games, essentially. But yeah, they're here to represent specifically the Legacy Collection, the streams for that. Halfway through, moving on to District 7, we've got some multiplayer content. The currently last and most recent videos that Twilix was a part of. We have Buck and Veronica from Halo 3 ODST. Buck is literally just Nathan Fillion. Look at his face, it's also his voice. He's actually just Nathan Fillion. That's just literally the actor they picked for him. And then from Halo Reach, commonly regarded as the best Halo game, we have Kat and George. Why them? I like them, especially George. I was always going to have George in here. And it was either Kat or Emil. And it's like, yeah, let's go with Kat. She seems fun. For District 8, we've got, this is the District of the Does. The Didact and the Librarian from Halo 4. The last multiplayer game that Twilix, or the last game that Twilix has been a part of, unless I can convince him to do more. And then the Driller and the Gunner from Deep Rock Galactic, which was briefly streamed by Way Out Trail and Pro Tip, though I don't believe the Way Out Trail enjoyed his time with the game too much, so you're hoping for more of that, you're going to be disappointed. District 9, we got a couple of shovel plays here. We have Little Mac and Piston Hondo from my recent shovel play of Punch-Out. Technically not the original version, since that version has Mike Tyson, and my version had Mr. Dream, but it's more or less the same game. And then a Way Out Trail shuffle play here, we have Ran and Cliff from Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town. Bit of a long title. District 10, we've got the Sawbones and the Blade Swarm from our continuing game of Gloomhaven that Way Out Trail and I have been doing with Zoe and Dodds. In the last season of Hunger Games, we included Zoe and Dodds as our first characters they had in Gloomhaven, because that was the characters we had at the time, with Brute and Scoundrel. And now we're including two favorites of me and Way Out Trails with the Sawbones and the Blade Swarm, where I played Sawbones, a doctor who was able to hurt just as well as heal, and the Blade Swarm, which is a swarming mass of insects that can somehow hold a form together and wear armor and wield swords. I know, it sounds kind of weird, right? Our campaign of Gloomhaven is almost done, actually. We're very close to the final boss. So that game will be wrapping up pretty soon in the new year. Might even be wrapped up by the time this video goes up. And then we'll probably have moved on to Jaws of the Lion, the prequel game. But joining the two of them monster hunters in District 10, we've got a pair of monsters. The Bracken and the Forest Keeper, two of the more powerful monsters that can be encountered in Lethal Company. A game that's gotten quite a bit of popularity recently, that Way Out Trail streamed a bit of. I think possibly with Pro Tip, but I'm not entirely sure. over in District 11, we got some more streaming content here, mostly. Then there's Samurai Goro. But first of all, we have Elodie, or Elodie. I'm gonna call her Elodie. From Long Live the Queen, a game that Whale Trail streamed for just a little bit, but did not make it onto YouTube. I don't think he set up to record that stream. Basically, the game is you control a princess, and there's a bunch of stats that you can do things to adjust and increase, and it's very randomly generated with events. And I'm assuming very difficult to survive because I saw him try 2 runs, and Elodie died both times. So based on that, she's probably not going to do well here. But joining her is the Knight from Dead by Daylight. For those of you that don't know, Whale Trail and I have played a lot of Dead by Daylight together. But at some point last year, or so actually it would have been at this point 2 years ago, Whale Trail got very, very done with the game. He was burnt out, just fed up. But recently this year, we got him to install again and start playing a little bit again. And he was having quite a bit more fun with it. And he has decided that the Knight is his new favorite killer. So we were like, let's put the Knight in Hunger Games. Why not? Joining him is Samurai Goro, who is representing my F099 streams. I streamed this game a couple times. It's pretty fun. We all wanted a new F-Zero game. Not quite what we expected, but it's enjoyable. It's not on the channel. Unfortunately, I thought about uploading it, but then I just kind of decided not to. And the video file is gone now, so I can't. Sorry. But then the last member of District 11 is Shadowheart from very popular game Baldur's Gate 3. May have heard of it. One game of the year a few places. Now, unfortunately, Baldur's Gate 3 only got one stream on Whale Trail's channel. Not because Whale Trail didn't like the game, but because his computer did not like streaming it. Playing it, just fine. Streaming it, Whale Trail has since completed the whole game, doing a playthrough with Pro Tipple. I've been playing 2 different runs with a couple friends of my own. In one run, we're still early in Act 1, but on our second run, we just got to Act 2. So I'm making my way through. And I decided, executive decision, I'm putting Shadowheart on because Shadowheart's my favorite. Sorry, Whale Trail, if you streamed it more than once, or if you put it on YouTube, I'd let you choose. But no, this is my show, bitch. And we're Shadowheart fans in this house. Final District. We've got the Janitor from Viscera Cleaning Detail. I found out that this game randomly changes your model every level, so I just picked my favorite one. And then we have Pro Tip, representing himself. As is tradition, we have at least one person in the season who is an actual person, because that's fun. Whale Trail and I were both in Season 1, and we both died. So, you know. I think, actually, one time the real person that we put in the Hunger Games did manage to win the whole season, so it's always possible. Joining Pro Tip as a real person is Zoe, who has been a very loyal, long-time fan of Whale Trail's channel, going back to the very beginning when he streamed Town of Salem, and has been in our Gloomhaven campaign. And then finally we have the Lamb from Cult of the Lamb, a game that quickly became one of Whale Trail's favorites, and was our winner of last season's Hunger Games. Will the Lamb pull it off again? Will they win a second season? It's happened before. Francis from Left 4 Dead 2, from Left 4 Dead 1 actually, won both the second and third. He won the second season of Hunger Games. Wait, am I looking at things wrong? I thought I had a season where one character won 2 seasons. Oh, wait, no, they did. That's right. Francis won the first 2 seasons of the Hunger Games. I'm looking at my charts wrong. Hey, it's a thing. But that's everyone. The Lamb could pull that off. We'll see. The odds are against them because, there's just 48 characters, and this is a random simulator. Literally anybody could win. There are no stats. There is no friendship meter or anything for establishing alliances. It's just pure RNG, baby. Although I did see that they are working on a new enhanced version of the Hunger Games Simulator, which is going to have some new types of events, and you'll be able to set differ the number of tributes you can get, because right now it's only 24, 36, or 48 tributes. But you could theoretically do 200 one game, which, oh dear God, I don't want to think about it. And there's also like going to be like a friendship thing. Like you can mark down if players are neutral, friendly, or enemies to each other. So, like that's pretty interesting. I would kind of like some physical ability and mental ability as well, like to have in their survivor simulators. But hey, I'll take what I can get. So maybe by the time we're ready for the Hunger Games next year, we'll be able to add a little bit more to it. But for now, we are ready to go here. As always, I did modify the events just a bit, so that all the suicide-related events are removed because we don't like those, both in a simulator and in reality. Don't. Please don't. And then we also have it set to have a high death rate and cornucopia in arena, and all that is all turned on. So, with that all said, I'm gonna take a drink. And then we're going to let the games begin. Alright, let's get to it. The Bloodbath. As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Zoe runs away from the cornucopia while riding a magpie, because apparently she found one of those. I don't know. The lamb grabs a sword, already ready to begin a killing spree. Yuna scares the blade sword away from the cornucopia, which, considering that there are a pack of bugs, is kind of strange. The Didact is unable to convince Dr. Wily to not kill him. We have our first death. The Didact, the lame villain from Halo 4, is dead. Man, Dr. Wily first blood from the old man. Kind of surprising, but I love it. The Gunner finds a backpack full of camping equipment. Makoto Nijima finds a bow, some arrows, and a quiver. Girl, you got Fist of Justice. You don't need those. Maya runs away. The Janitor runs away. The Bracken runs away. Bendy runs away. Interesting. Alice runs. Dio runs. Pro tip, finds a backpack full of camping equipment. Finally, somebody's not running. And there's another one. Ran away. Wow. The Mad Hatter gets throwing knives. That's terrifying. Henry Stein runs away with a lighter and some rope. I don't know what you're going to do with that, sir. The Librarian runs. Shadowheart gets a sword. Who knows how to use one. Ivor and Rohi. I'm going to say Rohi. Ivor and Rohi fight for a bag. Ivor strangles Rohi with the straps and runs. 2 deaths, everyone. We got 2 deaths already. Veronica gets a bow, arrow, and some quiver. Close she's going to get to a gun. Dowd runs away. Jin gets a sword. Oh dear. We gave the samurai a sword. Everyone's fucked. Freddy Fazbear runs. Joker runs. The Forest Keeper runs. Piston Hondo uses a spear. Similarly, dude, you got boxing. You don't need a spear. Fly gets a backpack. The Sawbones runs. Samurai Goro rips the mace out of Magnus's hands. But Magnus is alive. He's fine. Don't worry. Elodie gets a spear. Sigurd runs away. Foxy runs away. Hijiyama runs. George runs. Buck gets a shield. Okay. Corville runs. Cat runs. The Driller runs. Oh, we got 2 people. Is one of them gonna die? What the fuck? Wait a minute. I had those events removed. What? Hold up. Those events are not supposed to be in. Yeah, those events are out. How did they have a double suicide? What? What? It doesn't make any sense. Tomiki striking the night threatened a double suicide. It fails and they die, but that event was removed. What the fuck? This has never happened before. I've never had the events I removed get brought into play. I don't know what the hell. What? Okay. Well, we're gonna keep going and we're gonna adjust canon. They did not threaten a double suicide and it failed. Instead, what happened is the 2 of them were fighting over some supplies, and they ended up killing each other. We're just gonna say it's that. They ended up killing each other in the struggle. Yeah. Tomi, they both had swords and they both stabbed each other and they bled out. That's the retcon. Moving on. I'm very disappointed that Tomi is dead. Very, very disappointed. Little Mac runs away. Beast.exe runs away. Sophia takes a sickle. And Cliff gets a trident. Alright, with that, we can proceed to the proper day 1. Where hopefully no more suicides somehow sneak in. Anyways, the janitor discovers a cave. Pro tip, makes a shack. Dio steals from Dowd while he isn't looking. Veronica goes looking for a water source. The gunner tries to sleep throughout the whole day. Forest Keeper tends to Joker's wounds, which is incredibly creepy. Zoe practices her archery. Corvo and Sigurd split up the search for resources. The librarian gets some clean water from a sponsor. Rand gets clean water from a sponsor. Sawbones runs away from Henry Stein. Okay. Maya thinks about home. Foxy chases Magnus. Bladesworm diverges out of Heart's attention and runs away. Cliff sees smoke rising in the distance but decides not to investigate. Elodie makes a slingshot. Oh, okay. Hijiyama gets fruit from a tree. Yuna sees smoke rising but says, fuck that. The Lamb and Little Mac split up to look for resources. Base goes to collect fruit from a tree. Freddy Fazbear is pricked by thorns while picking berries, but don't worry, he's fine. Alice Little and Bendy hunt together for other tributes. That's terrifying. Samurai Goro searches for firewood. Buck is given an explosive. Well, he would know how to use one. The Bracken goes fishing. Okay. Sophia makes a wooden spear. The Driller collects fruit. Makoto picks a flower or 3. Piston Hondo tries to sleep through the entire day. George attacks Ivor, but she manages to escape. And then, Dr. Wily, the Mad Hatter, Fi, and Jin Sakai all raid Kat's camp while she's out hunting. That's quite the group. Alright. 4 cannon shots are heard. We have our first 4 deaths. The Didact, Rohai, Tomi Kisaragi, and the Knight are all gone. If they're one of your favorites, you can cry now. And now for night 1. Zoe sings herself to sleep. Sings herself to sleep, brother. Shudheart loses sight of where she's at. Samaguro quietly hums to himself. Oh shit! Freddy Fazbear, Dio, and the Bracken unsuccessfully ambush Sawbones, Base.exe, and Jin Sakai, who killed them instead. God damn, 3 deaths. Whew. I mean, looking at these 2 groups, I would absolutely expect the surviving group to be the ones that killed them. I don't know too much about the Bracken, in all honesty, to judge, but Sawbones, Base, and Jin would easily be able to murder. Easily. Otherwise, we have Pro Tip, how to fend off Magnus, Fi, and the Librarian away from his fire. Dr. Wily begs for George to kill him. He refuses, keeping Dr. Wily alive. Maybe one year I should remove that event, because there's always a dumb one. I don't know. Foxy goes to sleep. Probably dreams of Freddy walking through a field of flowers with him. The Driller sees a fire, but stays hidden. The Lamb begs for Yuna to kill him. He doesn't want to do this again, but she refuses and keeps him alive. The Gunner attempts to start a fire, but fails. Ivor hums. Bendy forces Hijiyama to kill Ran or the janitor, and he decides to kill Ran. Ooh. Bendy is starting the psychological trauma. Here we go, kids. Here we go. Maya gets clean water. The Bladesworm gets medical supplies. For which bug? I don't know. Cat sets up camp. Piston Hondo gets some fresh food. Makoto goes to sleep. Sigurd begs the Forest Keeper to kill him, and the Forest Keeper refuses. See, this whole begging to be killed thing, it's just like, come on. Come on. So dumb. Joker gets lost. Elodie quietly hums. Alice Little, Henry Stein, Cliff, and the Mad Hatter tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. That's probably a good group for that. I don't know about Cliff's ghost storytelling ability, but the other three, yeah, I see it. Veronica forces Little Mac to kill Dowd or Sophia. He refuses because he's actually a good person, and Veronica kills him instead. Sorry, Little Mac. Corvo sings himself to sleep, and Buck dies of dysentery. Sorry, Nathan Fillion. Your stint in the Hunger Games was shorter than your stint in Firefly. And I just made all 10 fans of Firefly let out an oof. And now I just made them all want to yell at me. Moving on to day 2. Shadowheart attacks Veronica, but she manages to escape. Magnus chases Corvo. Sawbones and Sophia hunt for their tributes together. Hijiyama injures himself. The librarian finds a river. The Mad Hatter tends to George's wounds, which is impressive considering he's wearing armor. Yuna gets some clean water. Alice makes herself a shack. Maya tries to sleep the day away like a lazy bum. Vi attacks Cat, but Cat runs away. Pro Tip makes a spear. First, Pro Tip makes a shack, now makes a spear. He's really putting his skills from Raft to work here. Foxy scares off Dowd. Bladestorm unknowingly eats toxic berries. Bladestorm, you are a bag of bugs. How do you die this way? How? Oh well. The Gunner practices his archery. Forest Keeper sleeps the entire day away, or at least tries to. The Driller gets a hatchet. Based out of EXE practices his archery. Zoe stabs Piston Hondo in the back with a trident. I'm gonna headcanon the trident is actually the magpie's beak. Because Zoe is crazy. Jinsakai goes fishing. The janitor defeats Henry Stein in a fight, but spares his life. Sigurd is given an explosion. Oh no, there's 2 of them. Oh, we got a big one. Elodie, the Lamp, Cliff, and Joker raid Makoto's camp while she's out hunting. Joker, you traitor! How could you? Bindi diverts Samurai Guru's attention and runs away, cackling like a maniac. Ivor tries to spear fish with a trident, and Dr. Wily goes hunting alone. Oh shit, we have an arena event already? We're about to have a lot of death here. Okay. A cloud of poisonous smoke starts to fill the arena. Protip and Bendy decide to run into the cloud together, saying, F this, we're out. Henry Stein and the Lamb follow behind and join the poison cloud. Makoto sacrifices herself so Veronica can get away. Magnus slowly pushes Sophia closer to the cloud until she can't resist anymore. There's some Stardew betrayal. Alice survives. Elodie survives. Sawbones sacrifices himself so Corvo can get away. This makes sense for our doctor to do. Maya survives. Samaguro and Ivor decide to run into the cloud together. What the fuck, guys? The librarian survives. The gunner survives. Jinsakai sacrifices himself so Forest Keeper can get away. Zoe is engulfed in the cloud of poisonous smoke. The Driller and Shadowheart decide to run into the cloud together. Dr. Wily survives. Cliff and the janitor decide to run into the cloud together. Cat survives. Sigurd survives. Oop, almost lost things there. The Mad Hatter slowly pushes Dad closer to the cloud until he can't resist anymore. Fi sacrifices herself so George can get away. Hijiyama and Joker agree to die in the cloud together, but Hijiyama pushes Joker in without warning. Oh, shit! And then Foxy slowly pushes Yona closer to the cloud until she can't resist anymore. And then finally, Base.exe survives. Holy shit! Holy shit! What the fuck? 27 cannon shots. A lot of people just died. It's going to be more worth it to see who all is left here. Oh my god, after all of that, we only have Sigurd, Corvo, Alice, the Mad Hatter, Magnus, Maya, Hijiyama, Foxy, Dr. Wily, Base, Veronica, Cat, George, the Librarian, the Gunner, the Forest Keeper, and Elodie alive. Only 17 tributes remain. This is the earliest in a single season of Hunger Games we have ever had an arena event. Holy shit. Jesus. I think... Wait, what? Decrease them. Wow. See, I always wonder, should I disable those or like lower the death rate so that it's kind of less bad? I think sometimes I do lower the death rate and I just left it at the default this time around of high, but wow. Wow, we just had a lot of deaths. Oh boy. Okay, well, let's keep going, I guess. My god. Night 2. George passes out from exhaustion. Gee, no fucking wonder. The Mad Hatter sets up camp for the night. Alice, Sigurd, Maya, and Magnus sleep in shifts, begging that poison does not come for them once again. The Forest Keeper and Veronica talk about the tribute still alive. Kat fends off the librarian, Foxy, and Base from her fire. Elodie shoots a poisonous blow dart into Hijiyama's neck, slowly killing him. Elodie, you are doing much better than you did in the game that Boyatro streamed for you. Holy shit, girl. Dr. Hawaii gets some medical supplies. Corvo and the Gunner huddle for warmth. And words? What are words? As we move on to day 3. Magnus is pricked by thorns while picking berries. The Mad Hatter camouflages himself in the bushes and sees Magnus do this. He laughs, and Magnus gets scared. Foxy attacks the Gunner, but he manages to escape. Maya finds a river. Corvo goes picking flowers. How nice for you. The librarian tries to spearfish with a trident. Veronica receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Alice overhears George and Elodie talking in the distance. Ooh. Dr. Wiley injures himself. To be fair, he's an old man. Base and the Forest Keeper work together for the day. Cat kills Sigurd with a sickle. And with that, we have 2 cannon shots. Cannon shots. Wow, my words are bad today. Hijiyama, Sigurd. So long, we're down to 15. Night 3. Maya sees a fire but stays hidden. Magnus and the Gunner hold hands. Oh, look at these lovebirds. Corvo sees a fire but stays hidden. Alice gets medical supplies. Foxy dies of dysentery. Foxy, you are an animatronic. How do you die of dysentery? Literally how? I'm gonna say you rust. You rust and you can't move anymore, and that's your form of dying of dysentery. This makes more sense to me. Foxy dies of rust. Veronica and George sleep in shifts. Base begs the Forest Keeper to kill him, and the Forest Keeper says, nah. Can't do that yet. The Mad Hatter screams for help. Nobody helps. Dr. Wiley cries himself to sleep. The librarian is awoken by nightmares. Probably the Mad Hatter screaming. It's probably what happened there. Cat gets fresh food. Elodie climbs a tree to rest in for the night. That's dangerous, Elodie. A lot of people have died climbing in trees in the Hunger Games Sims. Might want to be careful, girl. Oh my god, we have another event. It's the feast. Oh boy. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's families. Elodie, the librarian, and the Forest Keeper all decide not to go. Very wise. Then we got a group of 5 here. Oh dear god, what's happening? Veronica sets off an explosive! She probably got it off of Buck. And kills Dr. Wiley, Maya, Magnus, and the Gunner. Oh, I'm very disappointed at Dr. Wiley and Magnus dying. Damn. I'm guessing Magnus was probably a favorite pick for Way Out Trio as well, so you and I both lost somebody we were rooting for, sir. Unless you weren't rooting for him, in which case, WTF, mate. Corvo says no thank you. The Mad Hatter also doesn't go. Base doesn't go. Cat doesn't go. George gets a staff. That was thinking it's cornucopia. What he'll do with that, I don't know. Alice Little falls into a frozen lake and drowns. Wasn't that anticlimactic? Day 4. The Forest Keeper goes looking for water. Hey, you know, there's a frozen lake you can go check out. Maybe you can fall in. Base finds a cave. Cat goes looking for water as well. The Mad Hatter overpowers the librarian, killing her. Elodie diverts George's attention and runs away. Corvo sprains his ankle while running away from Veronica. And then we have our cannons. We have Foxy, Dr. Wily, Maya, Magnus, the Gunner, Alice Little, and the Librarian. I believe we're now down to 8? I'm getting there. Almost done, guys. Night 4. The Forest Keeper gets an explosive. Oh god. Corvo and the Mad Hatter tell stories about themselves to each other. Verona gets given a hatchet. Base has once again begged for someone to kill him, but Cat doesn't want to do that. George pushes Elodie off a cliff during a knife fight. Aw, man, I was starting to root for Elodie too. I was like, man, imagine, considering her game, she comes back and she wins the whole Hunger Games. That would have been funny. But we are now down to, oh shit, how many are we down to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're down to 7. Oh wow, we're all getting close. Day 5. Cat overhears Veronica and George talking in the distance, keeping it very Halo over here. Base goes looking for firewood. Corvo makes a spear. The Mad Hatter goes exploring. Forest Keeper dies from hypothermia. Alright. 2 more cannon shots. Elodie and the Forest Keeper. We are down to 6. Night 5. Okay, what the hell? I removed this. We saw me go over and search for the suicide events, and they weren't there. I removed them. Hunger Games is bugged. Removing the events is bugged. It doesn't work. I'm upset right now. We're just gonna keep on going, and we're gonna change canon and see that instead of George committing suicide, it's an old classic that we see happen a lot. George tried to climb a tree to sleep in for the night. He fell and he died. It was sad. Turns out his armor wasn't very helpful when it was kind of beat up, and a chunk of it kind of went up into his gut and he died. Yep, that's canon. Base gets fresh fruit from an unknown sponsor. Veronica sees a fire but stays hidden. Corvo attempts to start a fire but fails, so I don't know whose fire she saw. Cat tries to treat her infection, and the Mad Hatter starts a fire. Oh, hey, we know who started the fire now. There we go. That's who you saw, Veronica. Now that we're down to our top 5, it's time to place your bet. Which one of these is going to win? Is it Base.exe, Veronica, Corvo Atano, Cat, or the Mad Hatter? I am obviously rooting for my for Base from my Mega Man Battle Network games, because hell yeah. Cat's fun, Veronica, yeah. And I also think the Mad Hatter winning would be funny, because look at this guy. That'd be funny. I don't give a shit about Corvo. Day 6. Veronica, Corvo, Base, and the Mad Hatter all go hunting for Cat together. Apparently Cat is enemy number 1. They don't find her somehow, and she spends the day fishing. Cat got stealth. George is the only tribute to die since the last one. Night 6. Cat wakes up to nightmares. Corvo thinks about winning, as does Base. The Mad Hatter stabs Veronica in the back with a trident. They couldn't find Cat, but he still wanted to get a kill in. Day 7. Cat defeats Corvo in a fight, but spares his life. Fucking why? It's the final 4. What are you doing? Base goes fishing, and the Mad Hatter goes looking for water. Night 7. Cat defeats Base in a fight, but spares his life. Cat, what are you doing? Mad Hatter gets given another explosive. Oh god. And Corvo's woken by nightmares. Probably of him begging for somebody to kill him, and then they don't do it. Day 8. The Mad Hatter picks flowers. Corvo scares Cat off. Base gets a hatchet. There have been no cannon shots. For some reason, everybody's being peaceful now. Night 8. Oh my fucking god. Corvo stays awake all night. Cat defeats Base in a fight again, but spares his life. Cat, what are you doing this whole season? The Mad Hatter starts a fire. Day 9. Corvo catches Cat off guard and is sick of her shit and kills her. Fucking finally. Base injures himself, and then the Mad Hatter sees smoke rising in the distance, but decides not to investigate. It's probably Corvo burning Cat's corpse. There are only 3 left. Dear Brantsteele, please do not have somebody kills the other, and then the next thing is somebody falls into a frozen lake and drowns, and we have a winner by default. Because you love doing it to me. You love doing it to me. Ooh. It's not that. The Mad Hatter, Base, and Corvo Otano get into a fight. But after an intense standoff, the Mad Hatter triumphantly kills them both. We have a winner. The Mad Hatter from District 3, representing Alice, Madness Returns, and one of Curbwalker's first games on the channel. His third solo game on the channel, actually. And with that, we're done here. The Mad Hatter got 5 kills, tying with Veronica rather for the most kills. To be fair, Veronica got her kills via explosive. I kind of wish it would tell you like who they kill, but it doesn't. It just says, I mean, I guess there's the summary, which, oh god, no thank you. You know what? Actually, no, we will do this. Who all did the Mad Hatter kill? It started with the librarian, and then Veronica, and then, wait. Oh no, it started with Dowd, with the poison cloud, that's right. And then it was the librarian, Veronica, and finally Base and Corvo. Nice work. Nice work indeed. Alright. That's another season of the Hunger Games. We'll see you all next year for Season 8. I know a few games that'll be involved, because I know a few games I'll be uploading this next year. But I don't know much more beyond that. See you then, when I find out more, and we get to see how the Mad Hatter will do in his second run of the Hunger Games. Because as for his tradition, he'll be brought back. That's it. We're done here. Go watch another video. Bye.